Well, hi everyone. I'm back again, and we're going to be smoking our beef loin today. So, I've already put my charcoal in the smoker section. I put some lighter fluid on it. I just tossed a match in there and get it burning. Once that fire burns down and it just gets to be the smoking, we're going to move on to the next phase. So while that's happening, I'm going to turn my camera over this way, and I'm going to be taking our vacuum container. And this is our Food Savor vacuum container, and I'm going to turn it to the open. Now I'm not sure if you could hear that at all, but you just heard all the air being sucked back into the container. This is completely vacuum sealed. I've had it marinating for 3 days. Now it's ready. This is going to be just wonderful today. So we're going to get this into our tin foil. I'm going to use the heavy duty tin foil. So we got a nice chunk of tin foil there. And I'm going to go over to my grill here, and I'm going to turn this over to the side so you can see us again. I'm going over to my grill. And I'm going to take my tin foil, and I'm going to make like a little cup bowl type thing. Because that's what I'm going to put the pork or the beef loin into. But I'm also going to pour the marinade back into that. That's going to smoke for about 6 hours. So right now our flame is starting to die down. Our charcoal will be nice and hot. It's going to give us a nice smoke, and this is an indirect smoke. So this is going to go right from the smoker. It channels up into the main grill, and then it will smoke everything. So let me get this nestled and made. Like I say, I'm just going to make kind of like a bowl. And the whole idea is to keep our juices inside there, so not leaking out into the grill. We're going to keep it all inside there. And here's my container. Like I said, I just unsealed it. And doesn't that look beautiful? Beautiful piece of meat. I'm going to take that piece of meat, I'm going to lay it right in there, and then I'm going to take the marinade and pour that right over top. Okay, I'm going to seal this up, not completely sealed. I'm just going to kind of close it up around, so I want the smoke to get to that. So you can already see our smoke starting to go through into our main grill a little bit. I'm going to close this up. So now that's going to be smoking well. It's going to start pushing smoke up, channeled up through our main grill, and it's going to smoke. I'm going to have to check the charcoal every so often, probably add some more. Generally, I used to have to add some after about 2 to 3 hours. I add another half a bag. So with that, we're going to get this going. I'll be back shortly, and then we'll continue on. And that's what that looks like now. So let me give you a close-up of it. So that's what it's looking like. You can see our smoke channeling up through there, and we're going to be back in a little while. We're going to come check on this about every hour or so, just to make sure the heat is where it wants to be. Now with this, I want to run the smoke at about 225 degrees. That's right around where I'm going to try to keep it, maintain it at. I do have a little thing on the top with a chimney, and you're going to see this here. Now, as that warms up, I'm going to open that up. Right now, I'm just bringing it up to heat. So we're going to come out and check this in just a little while, and we'll make sure this is getting up to heat, and then we'll go from there. Hi everybody, we're back. I'm coming out here to check the grill. It's about 40 minutes. I'm coming out here to check it to make sure it came up to temperature where I want it. And I'm going to show you, you can see that it's smoking really quite well now. And as we go up to it, you can see the temperatures come up. So I've got the temperature where we're on it now, and things are going pretty well. So we're going to be back. It's going to be about a couple hours before I check on this again. Well, let me take that back. I will check the heat on it about every hour, but to open it up and actually look at the meat will probably be about another 2 hours roughly, and then it'll be about 6 hours total for cook time. So we'll see you in a little while. Hi folks, I'm back. I just want to let you know it's been about 2 hours now, and I'm going to check the smoker real quick. So, and I did put in some more charcoal, so you can see what I've got in there. I threw a nice hardwood charcoal in there on top, so we've got it smoking good. And in our grill, that's what our meat is looking like. So it's been about 2 hours. It's going to be another 4 hours before everything's done. So I just wanted to give you an update, see what it looks like, and we'll see you in a little while. Hi everybody, I'm back again. And it's been raining out here all day long, so I haven't been standing out here, of course. So I've had it smoking. We're at about the 4 hour mark, and I'm going to check the charcoal again. I've been gone for about an hour and a half. So we're going to open that up and take a look at it, and you'll get to see what's going on here. So we got a lot of good charcoal going on still. Our temperature's still looking good. And there's our meat. It's starting to come out really, really nice. So you get kind of a close-up look at what's going on there. This is going to be cooking for another 2 hours. So when it gets done, we'll come back and I'll show you we'll take it off the grill. We'll bring it inside the house. We'll slice. We're going to let it rest for a while. We're going to slice it up. I'm going to make a mushroom cream sauce to go over top of this also. I got some really nice mushrooms at the local farmer's market yesterday. Next week I go there, maybe next week or so, but anyway, the next time I go to the farmer's market, I'm going to video that and show you what that looks like there, because they have some really cool things there. And you can see the smoke puffing out of there still on the side for the smoker part. So everything's going along really well. We'll be back in a couple hours and we'll show our progress. Hi everyone, I'm back again. And I just wanted to let you know that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get our stuff ready for making our mushroom sauce. So I'm just going to chop it and prep it. We're not going to actually cook it just yet. I will be back with you as soon as the meat is done to finish doing the sauce and while the meat is resting. So, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and cut my vegetables and get them all ready. And I'm going to show you what I've got going on here. Now, I went to the farmer's market like I had mentioned earlier, and I got some really nice chanterelle mushrooms. So we're going to be using those. I also got some green onions. So I'm going to be using those. I already chopped the ends off and rinsed them and peeled them off. I'm just going to cut the ends. We're going to do a sliced dice on these. We're going to be using some minced garlic. I'm also going to be using some white wine, some dry white wine. And I'm also going to be using heavy whipping cream. And we're going to use some butter for getting everything together. So with that, we're just going to do a nice slices on the mushrooms. We're going to cook these in about 1/4 inch slices roughly. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And these will cook up quite nicely. And these are going to turn into a really, really nice sauce for this meat. It's going to accent the flavor of it really quite nicely. So, how's everybody doing out there in TV land, watching YouTube? I hope I'm teaching you a few things here and there along the ways, and give you some ideas on what to do. And then usually with those stems, I just cut them off the end of the mushrooms. And of course I cook those up with it, because they'll get nice and tender along with everything else. We have our green onions, and I'm going to cut the end off of that, just like so, and toss them off to the side. And I throw them right in my sink. Then when I get ready to clean up, I just clean up everything at once. We're not going to be putting all these in there, but I might make an appetizer out of the rest of these. My son really kind of likes a lot of that, so I'll do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 of those and set them off to the side. I really only need 2 for this, and we're just going to do a nice little chop on these. Now some of this I'm going to use for garnish. When we get to this green part, this is going to be what I'm going to use for a garnish on top. So when we get everything done, this will make a nice colorful garnish, and we'll put that on top of there too. Kind of gives a little finish into the sauce. So that's really all I have to do now for prep work. We will get back as soon as I bring the meat off the smoker and let it sit to rest for a while. We're going to let it rest for about 8 minutes to 10 minutes. And during that time, I'll have plenty of time to go ahead and make the sauce up. Okay, folks, I'm back. And what I'm going to do now real quick is I'm going to peel some carrots. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roast these up. I'm going to roast some potatoes and the little baby potatoes and some carrots. And we're going to also roast up some radishes to go with our meal. These turn out really, really good. So preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And we're going to do about 20 minutes roasted, or correction, I'm sorry, not 20 minutes, I'm sorry, 30 minutes. 30 minutes roasting at 400 degrees in our oven. And so I'm going to peel the rest of these carrots up, and then I'm going to turn over to seeing the radishes being done. I'm going to wash those, give them a quick wash. I'm also going to do that with my potatoes and give them a quick wash out of the bag. I bought the little mini potatoes. They're just kind of a nice little thing. They don't taste any different. They taste just like regular potato does. It's just they cook up nice, and they go cook up, you know, quite nicely when I'm cooking up the carrots and the radishes. They cook up nice all together. So you can hear me cutting in the background. All I'm doing is chopping those carrots up in smaller pieces like so. Now, once I get that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some olive oil to that. And when it's finally done, I'm going to pour them back in a bowl. I'm going to pour a little bit of olive oil on top, so drizzle some more olive oil. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt at that point. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just to add that little bit extra flavor to them. But see, that's all longer it takes to peel a carrot. So instead of buying all those little baby carrot things out of the store, buy a regular sized carrot. And here's a good tip about that. Those little baby carrots, they're just big carrots that they put through a machine and peel them down smaller so they can sell them that way. They're usually the ugly ones, whatever. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about the continuity of the carrot and how long they last in the refrigerator. When they're wet like that, those bags, they last very little time. I mean, they're already peeled. There's no skin left on them. They deteriorate pretty quickly. So I always buy carrots just like this, and then I go ahead and peel them myself and cut them. It takes just moments. You saw how fast that was. So it just takes moments to do that. Just take your time to do it. So with that, we're going to get that carrot all cut up, and you can hear again me cutting in the background. And that's what my carrots look like now. So next I'm going to turn this back around so you can see my cutting board. And you'll notice I'm not wearing my apron today. I normally wear my trademark apron. The only reason I'm not wearing my apron at the moment because I'm not going to be frying or anything be spattering on me. All I'm doing is cutting up veggies at the moment. When we come back and I start to make the sauce, I am going to be putting my apron back on. But I'm going to take all these radishes I just pulled out of the bag. These came from the farmer's market as well. I'm going to give them a good wash. So you can hear me washing those things in the background in my sink. Getting them nice and clean. And it's not like they're really dirty, it's just they have some dirt from the field still left on them. And I cut both ends. Again, look just like so. And we're going to put these all in my bowl. Okay, and the last thing is I'm going to take my potatoes. Like you see, I've got these little small potatoes. I'm going to give them a good quick rinsing and washing here underneath the sink, nice cold water. Shake the excess off, and I'm going to put it in my bowl too. So, after that, I'm going to take some extra virgin olive oil and about a tablespoon of olive oil over top of those. Take your hands work best for this, just mix them up, and then I'm going to put them out onto a baking sheet. So let me wash my hands here real quick. And I've already got my baking sheet out. So I've got my baking sheet out. I'm just going to pour them out on top of my baking sheet. And there they go. And all I do is give them a good quick shake like that. And now they're set to go out into the oven. Like I said, 400 degrees, 30 minutes. They cook up really quite nicely. I put them on the top shelf. So we'll see you back shortly when the meat is done. We're back, and we're getting ready to take the meat off the grill. It's been grilling for 6 hours, so it's doing really, really nice. It's looking just beautiful. So we're going to pull that off, and then we're going to bring it in the house, and we're going to let it rest. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing here. And there's our meat. And I'm just going to lift it right on off of here and slide it up onto my pan. And we're going to take that inside. Now, you see that juice inside there? I'm going to use that to make our sauce along with our mushrooms and stuff. So we're going to have a really nice sauce here. This is going to be a really nice meal. So we will see you inside, and we'll move on and get done. Okay, hi everybody. I'm back in the kitchen now. So we're getting ready to start making our sauce. We've got the meat sitting resting. So I'll give you a look at what I've done here. There's the meat. I've taken it off and it's resting right now. We're going to let that rest for about 10 minutes. So we're letting those juices go back inside there so that you can cut it open and all the juices don't run out. But the juices that we do have, remember from that marinade and the juices from what I told you I was going to do? Well, look at all that deliciousness. This is nothing but flavor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to add this to our pan like so. So I've got our pan heating up right now, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter. So we got a tablespoon of butter, and we're going to get that going nicely. So once that starts to get to the point where it's all nice and melted, I'm then going to add this. When I add this, I'm then going to add our mushrooms and our onions, and we're going to saute them up. Once they get nice and sauteed up, we're going to add some garlic. We're going to deglaze everything with some white wine, and we're going to add some heavy whipping cream to the mixture. So stay tuned. Things are going really nice and quickly, and we'll get this all going really well. So when it starts going, I will get back with you. Okay, we're back. So I've got my butter all nice and melted. We've got it going really quite nicely. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my onions. So remember those green onions we chopped up? And we've got about a tablespoonful. So we're not using a tremendous amount. We don't want to overpower the dish. We're just adding enough to add some nice flavor. So we're going to stir those up and start sauteing those. Once those start getting just clarified up, we're then going to add our mushrooms. So stick with me as I do this, because I'm just going to do this all in one step here. So we've got our onions going right now. Oh, the smells so wonderful. If you could just see this, it just, oh, look at that. Doesn't that just look delicious? Butter adds so much flavor to everything. It's just one of those wonderful, wonderful things that we like. And it doesn't take very long to get our onions going, because we just need them about halfway cooked. So then I'm going to take my chanterelle mushrooms. And again, like I said, I got these from the farmer's market locally here. And one of these episodes I will film that and give you an idea what it looks like there. It was recently redone, and they did a very nice job on it, I have to admit. So they did a very nice job on this new market, and it's got a lot of nice vendors in there to pick up some really unique items. So we'll let these mushrooms go. We're going to saute them up along with the onion. We'll then add in some garlic. We'll deglaze with the white wine, like I said, and add some whipping cream. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, we're back again. You can see our mushrooms have gotten really nice and golden brown. So we've got them browning up really quite nicely. We're going to now take a tablespoon of minced garlic. Now remember, garlic cooks very quickly. So we're going to be stirring this up and browning it up. Oh, you can get that nutty flavor. Oh, I can just smell it. Just smells just so wonderful. So we're going to brown this garlic up, and it won't take very long at all. I've got a nice hot skillet going. And just so you know, I use cast iron skillets for most everything I do. Cast iron is a product I really stand behind. I really like it. So we've got that nice and gone. We're going to add a third of a cup of white wine. So we've got that going. It's going to deglaze our pan and add a really wonderful undertone to that. Now we're going to take our drippings that we made from our marinade. Remember, we made that marinade the other day, and we used it with the vacuum sealer. That was part of that vacuum sealer video that I did. And we're going to add this into the sauce. And this is flavor. Oh, this is a concentrated flavor going inside here. So we've got that into there. Oh, look at that. Just delicious. Now keep in mind, folks, that I do plan on doing a live cooking shows. We're working our way up to that. I want to have a base of at least 100 videos out for you to reference to. But once we get there and I get enough subscribers that are interested in it, I will then begin to do a live cooking show. My plan is to do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and we'll do whatever amount of time it takes to do that particular dish. I will be saving the videos, so you will have the videos to reference back to, but I probably will edit them down so that they won't be as long, because some dishes take a little bit longer to prepare than others. But when I'm talking about live, we'll go from start to finish. For me, chopping up veggies, meat, talking to you, giving you an idea, and I'll allow you to interact with me. I'd like you to give me comments as we're going along, and we can talk back and forth. Now, I may not be typing because I'll probably be talking the whole time, but I'll be able to see your comments in the comment section as we're going along, and then I will respond back. So we're just reducing this down now, and you can see it's kind of like thickening up. And we're going to take our heavy cream, and we're going to add a third of a cup of heavy cream there. And we're going to take just a little bit of kosher salt. So just a taste, I'm going to use 2 pinches. So I got 2 pinches of kosher salt in there. And now we're going to reduce this sauce down. So I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit. And we're going to bring this up to a high simmer. Once it gets to a high simmer, I'm going to reduce that heat back down. And see how that's coming up to that high simmer rate? We're going to reduce our heat back down. Because you got to remember, we have dairy in here. When we have dairy products inside something, they can burn very easily. So we're going to reduce this back down, and once this gets all reduced down, this will go over top of our meat for flavoring. Oh, this is going to be just so delicious. Just so delicious. And keep in mind that marinade has a lot of the smoke flavor in it too. So that smokiness, that aroma, the flavor, all that good caramelization that was going on there with cooking that down. And we used indirect smoking. That was our process for making the meat. And our meat has come to the point where it's almost ready. We've got a few more minutes left before we're going to slice into that. But we'll slice it, we'll plate it, and then we'll put the sauce over top and our roasted vegetables. So we'll be back with you shortly. Okay, we're back, folks. I've got the sauce reduced. It's going really quite nicely. Our meat has been resting, so we're going to go ahead and slice this meat out. And I try to slice everything on a nice angle. It just makes for a better cut of meat when we go to slice into it. It makes it a little bit more tender, but this should be a pretty tender meat to begin with. Now keep in mind that beef loin is not really the most flavorful of all the cuts of the beef. Now, I do enjoy beef quite a bit, and it's one of my favorites. I like venison a lot too, but it's one of those things to keep in mind that when you're using this particular cut, it's super, super tender, but it's not super flavorful. So that's why we use the marinade for it, to add it that little bit of extra something to it. And then also we're going to have a sauce over top of it to enhance it. So that will enhance our flavor. So, like that, and we've got it all sliced up. Now when we come back, you're going to see I'm going to be taking the roasted vegetables out of the oven. We'll put them in with a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil. Mix them up, sprinkle some kosher salt on top of it. I'm going to plate the meat, and then we're going to put some sauce over top of it, and this is going to be time to eat. So I'm getting hungry. Okay, I'm back, and I've just taken the veggies out. I've added a tablespoon of butter and about a quarter teaspoon of olive oil. We're going to throw our veggies inside the bowl, back inside our bowl, and that will melt our butter, and we're going to put that over top of everything. So, there we go. Don't those look just delicious? Oh, if you could just smell what's going on, it's just like assaulting my olfactory. It's just so beautiful. Just a great, great aroma coming off of all this. So we've got that. Do a little bit of kosher salt, and we're set on that. Now it's just a matter of plating. So I've already plated the meat. I'm going to add some of the mushroom sauce over top of it. So we've got the mushrooms and the meat on top of there. We're going to throw in a couple of the veggies on here. And there we go. There's dinner tonight. So stay tuned. Oh, we forgot our garnish. We've got to put a little bit of garnish on there. So stay tuned. Come see me again. Remember, we're going to be talking about doing some live shows if I get enough subscribers.